was coming out as not entirely straight to my boyfriend. And the only reason it was just so painful is because growing up, my family always kind of teased me that I was gay, and so I never wanted to admit it to myself, and so I've only came out to my boyfriend and nobody else, just because I don't want them to have sort of satisfaction that they were always right. I haven't quite admitted that to my family and some of the people closest to me, but I'm not ashamed of it, so yeah.
The last time I saw my grandma, she was joking with me about like seeing my dad, and I blew her off, and then like a week later she died. I really, really loved her, and as a kid growing up, I couldn't speak that much Spanish, and there was like a language barrier with us, but she would always like call me like el chiquito chamico or something like that, or she would always just like be really, really nice to me, and I just felt like I couldn't be like a good grandchild. And I feel like now, like I like singing a lot in like Spanish and stuff, so it's just like I feel like now that I'm older, I'm trying to like at least like honor her in that way.
The most painful thing that I'll probably tell somebody is to my real dad is that I hated him. It just really hurt. Like, he tried to treat me better, and I just didn't let him when I told him that I hated him before when he passed away.
So about 8.5 years ago, my husband was hit by a car while riding his bike, and everything basically was broken from here to his pelvis. And I had the job of calling his then 90-year-old father to tell him what had happened to his son. And it's really hard to hear a 90-year-old guy who's a World War II vet bawl on the telephone. And I had to keep him posted through the whole recovery. And to this day, I cannot call him on the phone because whenever I call and he answers, he thinks something really horrible's happened. So someone else has to call him and hand me the phone because he still can't have me call him. You realize that being a parent never stops, that he was still a 90-year-old man with a son and probably still sees his son as his little boy, and he's hundreds of miles away, and his kid's in a hospital broken, and yeah, it was a pretty poignant moment.
Is it you? Okay, so how does it make you feel hearing that story?
It reminds me of the whole situation. Everything she says about you never stop being a parent. One that jumps out at me, and I can't believe it still bothers me to this day. 12 years ago or more, my daughter, who's in her 30s now, was in college, and she was giving short answers to family members when they call, and just really not being too interested. Instead of actually asking her what was going on or whatever, I read her the riot act over the phone, and brought her to tears, and I felt so terrible for doing that, and she could barely talk at the other end because I did that. So there's a series of phone calls afterwards where we made amends and all that stuff. But she was so far from home, it seemed like, and I couldn't believe that I made her cry over something so trivial. That's it.
Okay, when we were going to help my sister's boyfriend propose to my sister, my brother and I got into a fight, like, on the way up there, and I told him that her fiance didn't even like him and that he wasn't really a part of the family and stuff like that. And it was really awful. Like, the moment it came out of my mouth, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I would ever say something like that. Especially in such, like, a beautiful moment, you know? They're best friends, and my brother looks up to him so much, so it was a really low jab. He got really silent, and that's how I knew that I'd, like, really crossed the line. Because usually he would, like, yell at me or react. I pretty much apologized, like, the moment it came out of my mouth, because I realized that was just awful. So, yeah, we're good now, though. It makes me more conscious of everything that I say, because I've seen how hurt other people can be by just your words.
So I think reversing the question, which is what we did on today's episode, really shines light on the fact that we're all human and sometimes we make bad decisions and use the wrong words. And obviously that's not okay. That's not what I'm saying. But you can still be a good person who makes a bad decision. And the important thing is to realize that you did something bad or said something hurtful and try not to do it again. And obviously ask for forgiveness. That helps too. That's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next week.